guys, we've come to the 5th episode in this series on how to be the best at school, and this episode we are going to be talking about discipline. Now, this discipline is something that I cannot talk enough about. Now, discipline is something that looks odd, it looks boring, it looks stupid to many people. It looks as if you are kind of someone who is boring, who is someone who does not have anything to offer to society, right? Discipline is very important. Don't mind anybody if they are telling you that problem does not finish in life. You need to learn to enjoy your life and you need to relax. Now, I noticed that in the ending of the year is a time where people relax, people chill, want to enjoy themselves and want to forget about their sorrows. But in life, you need discipline, because at every point in life, you need to understand how to keep doing the difficult things, how to keep doing that thing that is kind of breathtaking, is giving you backaches, like reading, very, very difficult. Even for me, when I was in secondary school, people say that I was quite intelligent, but even for me, even when I get home, at times I feel very difficult to read, especially when there are distractions like the television, like wanting to eat before you read, and when there's delay in the food, you'll not be able to concentrate in your book until you get to eat something. So, and those kind of things, they are problems for people that don't have enough discipline. Now, I'm not trying to say that you are not disciplined. So, for those of you watching this video, I'm not trying to tell you that you are not disciplined, that you don't have discipline to achieve your goals in life. But the thing is, you need to be able to ramp up your discipline, because it's going to benefit you. So you remember when you were younger that all you wanted was to eat biscuit and sweets when you were younger, and your parents would beat you and say, don't beg, don't do this, don't do that, and they had the reason. And at the end of the day, because of their beating, because of their chastising, because of their warning, because of their insult, because of their depriving you of things, at the end of the day, you grow up to someone who cannot be shaken by anything, who can withstand distraction, who can withstand temptations. So that is the essence of discipline. That is the reason why you need discipline, because if you are going to achieve in life, you need to be able to sit down and do the things that are difficult. Like reading is difficult, that's the fact. Reading is very difficult. So for you to be able to do something difficult, you need discipline, and that's why we are talking about discipline today. So now, basically, what are the importance of discipline? So there are many importance of discipline. You need discipline because you need to be able to compete with others. So that's very important. When we talk about life is full of a lot of competitions, and in these competitions, there are a lot of things that you need to do. You need to kind of involve yourself. Like, you need to get a step above others, you need to get a step before others. So the thing is, anybody who is achieving something in life today, he has where he kind of goes, he has what he's doing, he has what is giving him an advantage, what is giving the person an edge. So you too, you need to work on discipline. You need to work on those things that can give you strength. For example, if you know that you can sleep early and wake up early to read, you can start doing that, so that you can be able to develop that and become better at that. So that is where we'll start talking about the methods of achieving discipline. So now let's talk about the first method of achieving discipline. Now, this method of achieving discipline, there are different methods of achieving discipline, and they are very important because they are kind of shortcuts. Many people that think discipline is actually difficult, they can use this method to make things easier. So when we talk about this method, there are things that there are paths and ways by which you can do something and make it easier for yourself. Even when you are doing that thing, you might not even feel as if you are doing any work. So that's the essence of knowing the right way. So the reason why many people remain undisciplined today is because many people, they know what to do, but they don't know how to do it. So yeah, we are going to be talking about 3 tips that can help you to know what to do and how you can also do those things the right way to achieve the best results. So the first step that we're going to be talking about to achieving discipline, which is very important, is basically something that you need to you might have heard of before. So now it is to basically remove every options that you might have. So basically, let me explain this concept. So now, I've talked about something like this in one video in my other channel. So basically, when you try to remove options, it is something that might look like a restriction. So other options might be like distractions. Nowadays, people in our generation, they are extremely distracted because they have a lot of options in their life. So like when people, they have a lot of options, they have a lot of things they can do. Like now, there is skating, there is movies, there is chess, there is video games. So there are a lot of options, there are a lot of distractions. So what you need to do, if you are going to achieve discipline, you need to remove your mind from other options. So you need to remove unwanted options. So that's what we call it. Remove unwanted options for your life. So all those things that are wanted, like things you can live without, remove them from your life. Now, this is kind of a little bit about stoicism. So, but it is something you need to understand. You need to be a stoic. You need to be a stoic because it's important that you achieve your greatest potential in life. And for you to be a stoic, you need to remove some things. So, because as a human being, you are governed by your innate desires, your emotions, your tendencies. There are some things that human beings do that other creatures do. For example, like nutrition, eating, movement, respiration, and the rest. So these are things that natural for every human being to do. So, but if you will notice that you will not be able to do something if there's no if that thing is not there. For example, if there is no chocolate in your refrigerator, you won't be able to eat junks. But if you make that available for yourself, you'll be able to binge eat those junks. But once you make that thing to not be available, it's kind of reduces the tendency of you to do the bad thing. So, for example, I talked about this in a previous episode of mine, because I talked about the fact that when you have a distraction there, you want to do it. So basically, you need to remove all those distractions. So they are basically like distractions. Remove other options. So discipline is not kind of what makes discipline difficult is that people intend to achieve it while having distractions around them. So, for example, if you say you are going to stop yourself from playing too much, and then you have a ball in your room, and then you have a video game, you have television in your room, so there's no way you will be able to achieve discipline with those things around. So all you need to do is just take them out of the way and leave yourself with no other option than to read. So if you have that clear environment, it will be easier for you to achieve discipline. Now the next step after removing other options is basically you need to be able to focus. So now focus is something that you can keep talking about, but you need to look for ways of improving your focus, which is what we're talking about in the next episode basically. So we'll talk about focus in another episode, and focus is important because people have their maximum focus levels. Now in episode 3 of this course, I talked about consistency. Now the only way you can achieve consistency is by being able to focus for a long period of time. So we have people that can read for 2 hours non-stop. We have people that can read for 3 hours. Then we have people that can read for only 30 minutes non-stop. So now, but this is affected by your background. As I mentioned earlier, some people have a clean background where they can actually read. Some they have a turbulent background where when they read small, they'll feel like doing something else. Yes, but everybody has a tendency to improve, and you can improve through discipline. So basically, you need to focus, and there are different techniques to achieve focus. We'll be talking about it in another episode of this series, and you can watch for that episode. So about focus. Now, basically, when we talk about focus is something that is very important because most athletes that kind of get first position, second position, third position in their races, and all these footballers, they are able to achieve that because they are able to focus. Like they're able to put every other thing aside, and they are going to be able to say that, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve, and I'm going to achieve this thing no matter what happens to me, no matter what everybody is saying about me, no matter what the world is saying about me, no matter what condition, I'm going to focus and do that thing. So basically, when it comes to academics, anything you are going to achieve in life, you need to focus. And there are many ways to achieve focus, and just put your efforts in place and look for methods by which you can achieve focus. Look for the method that suits you. So that was the second method of achieving discipline. And then the third method for achieving discipline is set high stakes. So set high stakes. So basically, this is something that might look abstract, but it's something that is realistic. For example, if I say that if somebody tells you that if you don't pass your examinations, you will be ejected from your house. If your parents tell you that if you don't pass your examination, they will drive you away from the house. Now you become scared and you want to do it. That's by all means. So every human being is capable of putting in their effort, but because you have no motivation to do it, there's no reason. Nobody's going to beat you if you don't read. So that's why you just relax. So, but you yourself, you can set high stakes. You can tell your friend, okay, if I don't achieve this thing, you can collect this thing for me. You can find me this thing. I will give you this amount of money, and I will lose. So you set something that you are going to lose, and at the same time, you can also set something that you are going to gain if you do that. For example, if you say, okay, if I read this thing finish. If I do this thing, if I pass this exam, I'm going to buy myself this phone, I'm going to do myself this thing. So you don't just sit down and start getting things. You need to put value on your items. So if you have the money now, you can't just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to get myself this thing. Is it worth it? Have you done work that is worth that thing? Don't just sit down and get yourself a phone, get yourself a luxury item when you've not worked for it. You must set yourself, make sure you achieve something before you can give yourself that luxury, that comfortable item, that opportunity. So that is one way you can achieve discipline. And these three things, they make it very extremely easy to achieve discipline. So when you can integrate these things, it will become extremely easy for you to achieve discipline. It will become much easier for you to do things in a quicker and easier and better way. So basically, that was for this episode. Let's give a summary of this episode on discipline. So the summary is that basically you need to there are different methods of achieving discipline. We talk about discipline being the ability to do things that your mind said you should not do, to still do something even when you don't feel like doing it, to still go into the cold when you feel cold, to still work out when you feel tired, to still read when you feel fatigued. So that's discipline. That's what discipline is: to do something even when you don't feel like doing it, and no matter what anything that's going on in your life. So there are different three main methods I gave here for you to achieve discipline. Is to remove your other options, remove unwanted options, like remove those televisions in your room, remove that video game, remove that football, and remove that phone, so that you can be able to concentrate. Then the second method is to focus. Look for methods of increasing your focus, which we'll be talking about in another episode of this course. Then the last thing is to set high stakes. Give yourself a reward. Do that, that you are going to do this thing. You are going to give yourself this reward if you do this thing, and you're going to punish yourself if you don't. So set high stakes, set reward and punishment for doing something. And these three things will make it easier for you to achieve discipline in your areas of life, especially academics. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you are looking forward to the next episode where we're going to be talking about note taking, so which is very important for you in classes, especially when you are in school and you are being taught something, and then you need to take as much as possible into your head and into your notes. So we are going to talk about techniques of taking notes. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and you can give me your comments, you can subscribe, share this video, and I hope to see you next